Welcome back to PlayStation Underground. Today, we're going to look at Destiny 2. I'm Justin Massengill, and I'm joined by Zach Miner.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, Zach. We just got back from Los Angeles, didn't we?
We did. We just exited orbit, landed down on the strike here.
Yep. So, yeah, we actually went to this amazing event that Bungie and Activision threw where they revealed the first ever gameplay of Destiny 2. Not only did they show us gameplay, they let us play, and that's what you're seeing here is some gameplay captured by myself and Zach here running through the new strike that they were showing off called the Inverted Spire.
That's right.
Zach, really quick, just overall impressions from the event of Destiny 2.
Overall impressions, it seemed really great and really promising. This strike that we'll see here, I thought was, if you compare it to, the strikes from the first Destiny, it felt like it was on kind of another level. The campaign section that we played, which unfortunately we cannot show you, but you can see it in kind of that gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
Was completely unlike anything we'd ever seen in Destiny 1 before.
Yeah, completely.
So I'm really excited. I took a lot of time off of Destiny, but I can hear it whispering my name once again.
So yeah, the first thing you'll notice here is, probably the first thing you'll notice is the new HUD in the bottom left. It looks quite different. There's a third icon down there. You'll probably see us using some of those new skills there. But I want to talk about the weapons a little bit. The weapons have been completely revamped in Destiny 2. You no longer have a primary, secondary, heavy slot. Now you have a kinetic weapon, an energy weapon, and a power weapon. So I was playing stuff where I had a hand cannon in the energy slot. I had a sniper rifle in the power slot.
Yep.
It's completely different. It gives Bungie a lot of flexibility in terms of like the types of weapons that they create. Oh, yep. This was a fun moment.
Yeah, here we go. Right into it. Jumping puzzle right off the bat.
Okay, I think we're watching me now, and I just happened to be the only one who made it across on my first try.
Well, Justin,
hi guys.
You are the hunter. Okay, so the hunters obviously with the double jump have quite, or the triple jump have quite an advantage.
Check out that new dance emote, by the way.
Let's maybe we should keep a running count here. This is me. I'm the Warlock. You can tell by the icon in the bottom left there. So that's 1 death for Zach and 0 deaths for Justin.
Okay.
Out to an early lead.
Okay.
Let's see how the rest of the playthrough goes.
Okay. We don't need to go there. And I had the cheeky wave emote going on there.
Of course. It is Destiny after all.
Of course. So yeah, we go. You see, we launch through these. I think they called them man cannons. Oh, yeah, that was me. Sorry.
1 to 1.
It wasn't my fault, though. I mean, I didn't have much control when I was flying through the air there.
Okay, it's definitely the game's fault.
So yeah, we get launched way across the map. Already a really big scale for this strike. There we go. I finally made it across. So yeah, we saw some interesting enemy types too. You'll see some new enemy types showing up shortly. Obviously, we're fighting Cabal here. They are going to be one of the main enemies that we'll face throughout the course of Destiny 2 based on what we've seen so far.
That's right. It's based on that kind of gameplay story trailer we saw. It looks like there's leader of the Cabal has his eyes on the tower and brings in his army to blow it up. And so I think, obviously, we are on a Vex planet here, and we are going to encounter some Vex a little bit later. Or actually, we already have encountered some Vex.
This is a planetoid, a small planetoid called Nessus, which has been occupied by the Vex, but they're also Cabal here, so big variety in the enemies.
Did you have a favorite enemy group from Destiny 1?
The Vex, actually.
Really?
I really thought the Vex were very cool, very mysterious. I mean, the Vault of Glass being amazing might have had something to do with that.
Sure.
But yeah, I really liked fighting the Vex. They've actually done some cool things with the Cabal here, too. One major concern that I had when we started hearing about Destiny 2 was like, oh, the Cabal, like, the guys with the shields and everything, I don't really like fighting them. But they've done some interesting things with them here that make them more interesting to fight.
Indeed. So for those keeping score at home, that's 2 deaths for Zach, still 1 for Justin.
Are you actually doing this?
Well, why not, right?
Okay.
Why not?
All right.
I think it might be closer than you suspect.
Okay.
So yeah, I agree. So we're gonna see a few new enemy types here coming up in a little bit. We actually might have already seen one of the new Cabals. The Cabal were actually my favorite enemy type.
And at this part, I thought I was gonna die, but then I realized there's some more stuff under here that I can fight.
Yeah, right. Like until I saw this footage from you, I had no idea that this part of the level exists.
Yeah.
It's really cool. You know, they've clearly learned some of the things from the success they had with the raids in Destiny 1 as far as, you know, size of environments, verticality, exploration, platforming. And I think that they've implemented, if this strike is any indication, they're implementing kind of pieces of that throughout the game.
Yeah, absolutely. You might have noticed when I popped my golden gun there, it did not end after 3 shots. I still had a bit of the wick burning on the super there. The golden gun is now a 6-shooter, but the wick burns faster. So it's less like in Destiny 1, you would be afraid to use your golden gun because you didn't want to waste it just on some mobs.
Right.
But now you have more shots, so it makes more sense to use it in a group of enemies. I think people are going to be encouraged to use their supers more.
And
same with the Titan Smash there.
Right.
You get multiple uses out of it.
That's really interesting. I actually only played as the Warlock. We played a bunch of, finally I revived myself here. We played single-player campaign. We played the Strike, obviously, and we did some PvP. And I only got experience with the Warlock in that new subclass.
Oh, really? Out of all the stuff we played, you only played
Warlock?
Yeah,
can you believe that? But it's all good. You know, Warlock was actually my first character. So that's all good and fine. So Justin, tell me about that third new icon on the UI there.
Yes, so that is a class ability. I'm not sure that I had figured it out by the time we were doing this, but basically the way it works is so Warlock, Titan, Hunter, they now have these class abilities that I believe persist across the different subclasses. It's always going to be the same regardless of what subclass you are. But
2-2, by the way.
So Warlock, which you are right now, we might see you do this at some point here, but if you hold circle as a Warlock, you create this rift on the ground underneath you that gives you, here we go, yep, that gives you a healing kind of aura that you can stand in, and your allies can stand in that too. You can also, I saw a node that was not unlocked in the perk screen, but you can also change that to be an empowerment. Oh, nice try there, man. So what you saw Zach try to do there is to hold circle while you're in midair and quickly descend to the ground and regenerate health while you're doing it. Didn't quite go as planned there.
No. Three deaths for me, all by falling.
So that grenade that I just threw there is a swarm grenade. I think there were swarm grenades or something like it, and I think it's similar to the skip grenades from Destiny 1. But yeah, so you see I kind of tinkered around with the subclass screen here. There's a lot of stuff that you can switch out here. So Gambler's Dodge there is mapped to my class ability. This is where I figured it out. I was like, so I was trying to figure out, because I knew about the hold circle for Warlock. I couldn't figure out how to do it as a Hunter. So if you double tap circle, you get the dodge roll, which is kind of like the shade step from the
Night
first
Stalker,
game.
right?
Yeah.
That was an advanced Night Stalker.
Exactly. So all Hunters will have that ability now, but it's on a cooldown. It's a pretty short cooldown, but you can't just keep dodging out of the way.
It's really interesting. I wonder how that change kind of layers down into, you know, like the Night Stalker subclass.
Yeah, exactly. So the other ability that, sorry, I blinked for a second there. The other ability that I was looking at there, and what I'm trying to do here is, if I do that dodge near an enemy, it recharges my melee, so my throwing knife. Oh. So I do a knife, and then I dodge, and then I have another knife ready to go.
Wow, that is really cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, Bungie is you know, top of the class in designing these kind of complex systems that really complement each other in interesting ways. If you're willing to, you know, go that extra level and see how they can all combine.
Yeah.
So here you're finally going to get a look at the Warlock Super.
The Dawn Blade.
The Dawn Blade, which I think, Justin, you summed up really well. It kind of reminds you of the sword from the first game, right? The Raise Lighter. Yeah,
so it's a flaming sword, kind of like the Raise Lighter, but it behaves more similarly to the Bolt Caster, which was the Arc exotic sword, because it fires projectiles. But now it's mapped to the Warlock Super. It's not, you know, the equipable item.
Yep. Yeah, and I really enjoyed using that class ability, the kind of regenerative health thing for the Warlock. I used it a few times throughout this playthrough, especially, you know, during the boss fight. But it was great, and I love that it kind of introduces a element of support to a class that I don't know if it really had it before. And correct me if I'm wrong there. I guess some of the Sun Breaker stuff had some support elements there. But my main in Destiny 1 was a Defender Titan.
Nice. So you were very sought after in raids.
Very sought after, but just generally speaking, regenerative auras really speak to me for whatever reason. So we didn't get to talk to them too much about some of the visual improvements that they've made. Obviously, it looks, visually, it's the same engine and looks similar to some things in Destiny. But I felt like just the scale and some of the effects that we were seeing in this was pretty much unlike anything that I can recall in the first Destiny.
Yeah, and earlier would have been a good time. I should have brought this up earlier, but earlier we saw a lot of foliage and stuff, and it was very detailed, very kind of lush plant life on this planet.
That was fun. I really like the these kind of like balls that come down, holding little cannibals or cabals. Yes, exactly. Holding their it's almost like they're boats, attacking the beach.
Yeah,
we'll see a couple drop in here, soon, but they have a really cool effect to them.
Cool. So we're getting close to the boss fight, I believe here.
Well, we still have the drill to go through.
Oh man,
don't forget.
We do.
Don't forget.
Yeah, okay, I wanted to skip the drill.
Well,
can we not talk about the drill?
Anyway, some foreshadowing for you.
Yeah.
So obviously we've seen a couple new enemy types. Yeah, there are those things. Those look awesome.
The little war beasts.
War beasts.
Look at those guys.
Oh my god. Was not a fan.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna hate them as much as I hated the dogs in Bloodborne, but first impressions were not great for the War Beasts.
These guys remind me a little bit of the Thrall, the Hive Thralls from Destiny 1, but a little more beefy, a little faster, I think. Kind of hard to pin down.
Yep, and I'm already concerned about what the super advanced versions of the War Beasts are going to be.
So look at how quick my Golden Gun melted that elite enemy there.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really cool. I love that they've kind of tweaked the supers a bit, made them feel more versatile, rather than just trying to save them for bosses.
Yep.
And one of my friends I was talking to at the event actually pointed out that I think all of the supers are now roaming DPS supers. So it's not... Basically, you're encouraged to use them against mobs more often because it's the type of supers that you pop it and then you run around and you shoot stuff or you do stuff.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it seems they focused on making people want to use their abilities more.
That's good. And that's something that I never would have put on my wish list for Destiny 2. But it's something that when I think about it, thank you. That's such a huge quality of life improvement because I constantly felt like I had kind of super paralysis in Destiny 1. It's especially as a Titan, I really need to wait for the right moment to use my super.
Yeah. So you'll see at this point I'm figuring out that you can shoot the gas tanks on their backs, and I'm having a whole lot of fun with that.
Yeah. These enemies were a blast.
Yeah. Literally.
Can we stop recording? No. Just kidding. There's
that Dawn
Super
Blade.
again.
So good.
Very fun.
That Dawn Blade looks like so much fun to use. I love it.
It's great.
Oh, the drill.
Here we go. So tell us about this section here, Justin.
I don't want to. Can you tell us about this
Is
section?
that 3 to 3 deaths there for you?
I don't want to talk about
okay.
the drill.
So the Cabal are here, and they're boring out a section of this planet. And so, of course, to do that, you need a drill. A couple prong drill that, all right, 4 to 3 for me. That presents quite a bit of kind of platforming puzzles. It's a really interesting environmental challenge because you see this action here is taking place on kind of 2 planes, and the drills extend to each one of them. And so you have to move through them, and obviously there's enemies on both levels. And while you're taking out the enemies, of course, you have to be mindful of the giant drill.
So right there, I had the bright idea to throw a grenade behind that guy who was holding the shield up to make him take the shield down.
Super smart. Probably, on that note, probably not even worth mentioning, but shooting still feels super good. And all, the moment-to-moment interaction still is, in my opinion, best in class.
Yep.
And you see with the some of these new enemy types that they're even adding.
By the way, that binary 01 Lazarus, that's me. So every time you see binary Lazarus died, Yeah, just keep on racking up that tally.
Here's my valiant Saving Private Ryan moment. I need to go in and really rescue my friend here. I don't know what happened here.
I think you're trying to revive me, but you're not quite close enough.
I'm not looking at you. Is that right?
My
okay.
guess.
Yeah,
I got into a bad way here.
My aura was very helpful here, though.
Yeah, man.
There we go.
Thank you. Thanks for the res.
Once again, the Warlock melee is very, very fun.
Thank you very much for cutting out the footage of me just dying repeatedly.
Well, let's stand by for a moment there, Justin.
Okay, maybe I gave you too much credit.
It's not just the two of us, or it's not just you though, because the drill plays no favorites.
This drill is merciless.
It is quite challenging.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Are we still keeping track?
You know
it's whatever.
What are numbers
we'll
anyway?
We'll call it a draw.
That's fine. That's probably the end of this sequence, right?
Yeah,
oh,
I died.
No.
Oh, and then big over there. He was the smart guy who just ran ahead to progress the strike rather than trying to keep rezzing.
Nothing like the passive-aggressive Destiny emojis. Those still have a lot of impact. Oh, well, there we go. Let's for brevity's sake, let's just move through this a few times.
Oh man, can we just? Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Something.
Okay.
Let's call it 35 to 34. Oh, but you, for whatever reason, you didn't quite res in the same area that I did.
Okay. Well, I didn't see any of this. This is new to me because I was still dead.
Right. There was actually, I chose a bad part to kind of look at some of my weapons here, and you can see some of the interesting abilities. Because as you noted, our compatriot just kind of ran ahead, and thus we spawned into the boss room.
Yeah. All right. So this boss, I was very impressed by. First of all, note that name, Protheon, the modular mine. Very similar to one of the bosses from Destiny 1. I don't know if...
Crota? Are you referencing Crota?
Close enough. Atheon from the Vault of Glass. I'm not sure if he's actually related to Atheon, but I'm going to go ahead and weave this story in my head that he's Atheon's like distant cousin.
Yep.
That he, didn't invite to his birthday party or something.
Let's fire up the grimoire. Let's dive in and see what the real story is.
So yeah, you'll notice that this guy has a lot of health. One cool thing that they're doing is they actually split the health bars into segments now, rather than being one big health bar. Just a cool little touch.
Yep. You just saw there kind of a brief shot of one of the other new weapon types. I've been playing around a lot with my SMG, but there's also the grenade launcher, which I was a huge fan of.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't get too much footage of it in the strike, but I used it a lot in the campaign.
Grenade launchers are pretty self-explanatory. You know what it's going to play like.
It's true, but like everyone wants to see the Destiny take on the grenade launcher, right? And like the mind... the mind is very excited about what the potential for like a exotic grenade launcher could be, right? Like there could be some really wild stuff that happens.
Yeah, the submachine gun was not exactly what I expected it to be. It actually is a very close range weapon, I feel like.
Yeah.
The damage falls off at distance pretty severely, and it's kind of wild trying to shoot it. Its stability is low.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun to play with, though.
So there you saw this boss has a few different stages, and we just the floor just went away. So fell into a new arena with kind of a totally different set of cover. Also added this new, this new kind of heat strike where you have to jump up to avoid getting burned.
Here's Zach to save the day once again.
Always the support, right? Here's me once again, just trying to generate some orbs for my team here.
Good use of that Dawn Blade. Yeah, this fight was a lot of fun. I was really impressed by the way that we talked about how it kind of changed segments here. Here we go. It's I almost fell off.
Ooh, good save.
Saved it though. But yeah, it actually added a lot to the fight, going through and having to kind of readjust on the fly and figure out, how is this phase going to work and how is the boss changing his tactics and everything.
Definitely. And it's a little bit difficult to tell here, but the crit spot was changing over time as well.
Okay. Yeah, I was having a hard time locking that down. We're getting overrun by effects here.
Yeah, this was a little bit brutal.
You're making good use of that Scorch melee, though.
Oh yeah, yeah, and my aura hero really saves the day in a second.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
that was
Nice.
a rough place to be.
Man, that Warlock aura is so good.
It's pretty OP, right? I mean, look, and while you're in there, it doesn't last when you leave. But while you're in there, not only can you regen health, but you get kind of an overshield. So if you're feeling swarmed, you can drop that down and then, you know, take that. Of course.
He kept on teleporting away when I tried to throw a grenade at him.
What a tease. So here we go again. Oops, where'd the floor go?
Falling down one more time. And I realized a little bit later that that white stuff down there, you don't want to step in.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, we had to learn that the hard way. So any thoughts kind of outside of the strike, Justin, on Destiny 2? Yeah, we have.
Oh man, I mean, if we want to start talking about everything else, we can talk about Crucible. We could talk about how awesome that story mission was. Let's talk a little bit about the Crucible, just for a moment. They're doing 4v4 matches now. We played a new mode called Countdown.
Yep.
Which was kind of an attack-defend mode where you have to place charges on specific points, and the other team has to stop you from doing that. You swap places. It was very interesting. Had shades of the elimination type modes and felt kind of trialsy.
For sure.
Because you have limited revives. That's another new thing they're doing is you have a revive token in that mode.
Yeah, yeah, that was really fun.
So you have to pick and choose who you want to revive, when you want to revive them. So it's much more strategic than the chaos of, you know, a control or rumble match.
For sure. I really liked it. Trials was one of my favorite parts of Destiny.
Yeah.
Definitely certainly a love-hate relationship with it. Very high stakes.
Of course.
But that it felt like a somewhat more casual version of Trials, but I could see the high level. I mean, we got completely wrecked by everyone, but once you really kind of get the hang of the maps and how those charges work, I could see really falling in love with that. We'll hopefully have some footage of that up soon. But yeah, I'm excited. You know, the Crucible kind of like grew over time to be one of my favorite parts of the game.
Yeah, mine too.
And I think as we see what they do with clans and guided games and things like that, I think it really has potential to take it to another level. Because I almost, aside from Trials, obviously, you know, I almost did the hey, all right,
yeah.
Crucible completely solo.
Binary Lazarus died.
There we go. Unfortunately, they didn't give us any loot for that.
Aww.
But Justin, why? The boss is over there, man. I don't know why you're.
Come on, man.
I just had to do it.
Yeah, thanks. I like how you just like shot me, and then our other friend like went to res me, so I could be a part of the celebration.
You're in a dangerous place, man.
Whatever. He made it. He was fine.
True. All right, 10 seconds, Justin. What
10
do you
seconds.
think?
So Destiny 2 looks amazing. It comes out this September on PS4. It's going to be 4K on PS4 Pro.
Yep.
I can't wait. It looks fantastic. I had a ton of fun playing it. Yeah.
I'm particularly excited to see what they do with all the patrols. Tons of exciting stuff they have planned for that. Cannot wait to get my hands and play a little bit more.
Cool. Well, we'll have more news for Destiny 2 coming up. Stay tuned to PlayStation Blog and all of our social channels for more.
Get exclusive Destiny 2 content on PS4.
PlayStation